Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got a breaking news report coming out regarding Iran to share with all of you, and we're going to talk more about their nuclear weapons program and what the U.S. and Israel plan to do about it in the near future. So, yesterday there was a report that was just starting to break. Several mainstream news outlets were actually picking up this story, but not too many. For the most part, it looks like it got buried. And just today, there was an Iranian news outlet called Iran International that actually picked up this story. You can see here on your screen 77 retired U.S. generals and admirals call on Trump to act on Iran quickly. A group of 77 retired U.S. generals and admirals have called on President Trump to support possible Israeli military action against Iran, warning that Tehran is nearing nuclear weapons capability. And this was a photo that came out here showing all these different retired generals and admirals of the U.S. military and them coming out and showing support and saying, hey, we need to start going after Iran's nuclear weapons capabilities here and start destroying them now before they get close to producing a nuclear weapon. Now, could they already have them right now? Who really knows? There's been some talk about that. But this has been something that's, for years now, for well over a decade, has been discussed about Iran obtaining a nuclear weapon. And then over maybe the last 6 to 8 months, we've been hearing more of that recently, that Iran was right around the corner from obtaining one. So, what is the U.S. and Israel going to do at some point? Well, apparently 77 of these retired U.S. generals and admirals have already called on Trump recently over the last maybe days or so to urge him to start going after Iran now and take out these facilities. So let's talk about this. Let's hop it over here to Iran International. Retired U.S. generals urge Trump to back Israel against Iran. This just came out today on March 5th, 2025. And it says right here, a group of 77 retired U.S. generals and admirals have called on President Donald Trump to support possible Israeli military action against Iran, warning that Tehran is nearing nuclear weapons capabilities. In an open letter organized by the Jewish Institute for National Security of America, or JINSA, the former commander said that it is time to let Israel finish the job against the Iranian axis and stop Iran from crossing the nuclear threshold, and urged Washington to provide military assistance. A nuclear Iran would be a threat to U.S. national security, the letter reads. What Israel seeks from the United States is support to ensure the maximum effectiveness of its actions and manage the risk of Iranian retaliation. We should provide it expeditiously. Referring to Iran's rising enrichment and obstruction of IAEA inspectors, it said more must be done to defend the Jewish state. With Iran capable of producing weapons-grade uranium in just days, working toward a nuclear weapon and building ever deeper underground facilities, time is running out to stop its march to the bomb, the former generals added. While acknowledging that diplomacy is preferable, the signatories said they doubt Iran would negotiate in good faith. Repeated negotiations with Iran over the decades, have led to one dangerous result. The world's leading state sponsor of terrorism now stands on the cusp of developing the world's most dangerous weapons, they wrote. In early February, Trump declared the return of the so-called maximum pressure on Tehran, vowing to block its path to a nuclear weapon. Iran remains the world's leading state sponsor of terror, the memo read, blaming Tehran for supporting militant groups such as Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, visiting Israel last week, called Iran the single greatest source of instability in the Middle East. There could never be a nuclear Iran, Rubio said. That can never happen. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said during the same press conference that Israel and America are shoulder to shoulder in countering the threat of Iran. So what do you guys think is going to happen? I mean, there's been so much talk about this as to whether the U.S. is going to, go ahead and team up with Israel and bomb their nuclear facilities, or is some sort of, diplomatic means going to be worked out here and a nuclear deal gets set up again where Iran does not push for nuclear weapons? Who knows what's going to happen? But let me show you this real quick from Conflict Radar. It says #new. 77 retired U.S. generals and admirals have urged President Trump to back potential Israeli military action against Iran, warning that Tehran is close to achieving nuclear capability. So you guys can screenshot this if you want to. I'll also cite this down below in the description for you guys, letting you know all the different generals here and admirals in the past that apparently came together, 77 of them, to start warning Trump to start backing Israel right now and go after the nuclear facilities in Iran. So let's see if they happen to do that. But I do want to show you guys a story also that came out yesterday that wasn't really widely reported as well. And we'll jump on over here to a mainstream news article called The Middle East Eye. Russia agreed to broker talks between Iran and the U.S., according to report. Report says that the U.S. and Russia discussed the matter during a meeting in Saudi Arabia. So allegedly, we had Donald Trump contacting Vladimir Putin, asking him if Russia was okay with helping out to mediate or broker talks between Iran and try to get Iran not to produce a nuclear weapon. And apparently, Russia agreed to that. And when we had just in the last couple of weeks, we had the U.S. delegation meeting with the Russian delegation down in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and we talked about that. They were discussing the war in Ukraine. Well, apparently, one of the things they discussed also was trying to figure out some sort of way to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon and see if Russia was open to mediating those talks. So allegedly, that was a thing as well. And I just wanted to show you guys that it looks like the U.S. is somewhat working towards some form of a way to diplomatically, resolve this situation with Iran. And hopefully they don't have to go and bomb them. But we know that if that comes down to it, the U.S. may likely go over there and launch some bombs onto Iran and destroy their nuclear facilities. So I just wanted to give you guys an update with this, let you know what's going on over here. We haven't talked too much about the Middle East, and I thought it was an interesting story that came out over the last 24 hours. So let me know what you guys think about all these details down below. That's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.